Hello, everybody. Welcome. On, say hello. I forgot I had some stuff on my seat. Shame for shame for shame. So, how is everybody? I know some of us had some rain and storms, and some had some really bad storms. And I know we're supposed to be getting more rain today and tomorrow and Saturday. Fun, fun. Hey, Tina. Okay. Get us all refreshed on here. At least it's not real windy in that today, so hopefully everything works good today. Hey, hey, hey. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Karen. How are y'all? Thanks for throwing snowballs. I appreciate it. Move my glasses. So we're going to I got this out of Laura's spring box. It's like a little cutting board and it has the birds and that on here. And I already primed it with some white, but I took some Dixie Belle Lucky Lavender, which I think is a real pretty color, and lightened it up. And we're going to paint that on here, but first, we're going to do some crackle. So, while I say that as I struggle to open this, but this, I do have to get me some before I wait too long because I have been known to do that. And then I'm like, oh, crud, I don't have any more. So I do need to get me some more Dixie Belle Crackle. I like it. If y'all have not tried it, you need to. And I am going to crackle the whole dang thing. My only thing is I can't always I can't always see it. It's like, okay, where is it? So as I was telling y'all yesterday, I believe about the Derby that's on Saturday, the Derby race and that. But we live literally a couple blocks from Churchill Downs, and already you can hear all the helicopters and all that going around. Hi, Maddie, how are you? I'm so happy to be seeing you all the time now. I was worried about you, my friend. But you can hear, I don't know if you guys can hear them, but we have helicopters circling around today, and it's going to get more and more up there. Helicopters and planes, and they'll have like little banners where they'll be advertising something. So I just throw that little sponge away. Again, Dixie Belle Crackle. Love it. I did get some on my glass. I'm doing fine, thank you. I'm glad you're doing well. I love this glass because it's easy to clean stuff off. Still have not got me a real good heat gun yet. So I got this little thing. It's quiet, but you kind of have to hold it really close to get it to do what I want it to do. So how has everybody been? Did y'all fare through some of the storms and that have gone around yesterday? I know Lisa had some pretty good damage, and I don't know if she's gotten her power and water back yet, but I gotta watch because we're going to do some decoupage also, and I have the napkins laying in front of me. I don't know if y'all can see them or not. You didn't get any rain at all, Tina? You still don't have power or water? Oh no. You got a glass top for your. I love it. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Cindy. I love the glass top. I do. It's easy to wipe stuff off. Tulsa's we were that a couple weeks ago with the big old flooding and the river and everybody else getting flooded out. Sounds like you're getting a lot of what we had not that long ago, Amanda. We had it pretty. A lot of people were getting flooded out. The river was it was up and beyond Waterfront Park. Hi, Mickey. Thanks for throwing snowballs, Cindy. So I have a question. What was one of your favorite memories as a child? I was thinking about that earlier today. So I thought I'd ask and see if y'all had some favorite memories as a child. Thanks for the snowballs. Thank you, Mickey. I can remember I used to like we grew up on like a small farm. We had a couple cows and a pony, and then we grew a lot of crops. So I can remember one of my favorite things to do as a kid was always to go walk out in the field where it was seemed like it was so nice, especially on a really nice day, nice and peaceful and quiet. I love to do that. Being with your grandparents. Ah, you and Lisa both being with your grandparents. That's nice. I kind of miss not being on like a small farm. I don't want to be way out in the boonies, but oh, funny you should say that, Amanda. Going to Baskin Robbins, we used to do that too. And I was out with Caden the other day because there's not many Baskin Robbins around, and I said, Caden, I said, do you want to go into Baskin Robbins? And he was like, what's that? But we didn't go in. Camping with my family, we did some of that. It was more me and my brothers and my mother. We would go camping. That was fun, and we would go canoeing. Family gatherings, camping all summer at a campground with my family. See, I could see that. That we did it. The best part too for me about it is we would go canoeing, and I loved to do that. That was fun. All right, we're gonna set that off on the side, and I got some on here, so I'm gonna wipe that off. No, I'm not gonna set that aside. What am I saying? All right, where is it? We are going to paint it. Thank you, Melissa, for throwing snowballs. Weekends at my grandma Dougal's house, she gave me the love of crafts. My grandmother, and I used to do it on my mom's side, gave me the baking bug. I used to love the bake. Don't do that so much now. But she was Hungarian, and we'd have all kinds of like certain dishes, strudel and all that good stuff. I don't do that so much now. And when we were on the farm, we did my mom did do canning, and we used to have the meat grinder where you'd put it in and you'd grind up your meat. And I don't know the technical term, but where you would take the sausage and put it in like sausage casings and that. We used to do all that stuff. And then at the end of our drive, which was pretty long, we had like a little vegetable stand, and we'd always sell our corn and and whatever crops we had down there. And I remember selling the corn a baker's dozen. So that was all fun. And if you, I don't know if you all can tell yet, but it's already starting to crackle. That's always the fun part about the Dixie Belle too. Well, maybe it was right there. Say, got some on here. I don't know how it got there, but leave her sit. Get it off my fingers because we are going on to our next step. Whoop whoop. My mom used to do floral arrangements, so you'd think I'd be good at that. She used to work in a florist shop. Um, she used to do. She took bake decorating. Now my older daughter, she can do that stuff. Thank you. A cherry pitter. Yeah, it's the lavender from Dixie Belle, but I lightened it. I thought I got it all off the table, and I did not, y'all. There's some sitting right here, but hopefully I don't. I think it's dry, so I should be okay. Trying to hold this because if it's going to be me, I'm going to be blowing it right across the room. But those are some of my favorite memories. Well, it looks like I missed some on the edge here, so we'll get some there and one in a spot right there. This is what it normally looks like. It's a little darker, the Lucky Lavender, but I still think it's a pretty color even like that. All right, where's my, there it is, my little Teflon sheet. Hi, Ruben, how are you? Now, I've found on my little Cricut, I don't have to always wait for it to turn totally green. It usually is hot enough before it gets to the green. Yep, it's on there. Just taking this to get the stuff off the edge. I do too. I'm not a lavender person, but this one I like. This one I like. Can you all hear the helicopters in that, and the planes out there going over? I say, because if you can't, this week I think I'll start taking some pictures and letting y'all see what goes on around here the next several days. All right, this part's being stubborn. There. So there's our little bird right now. I figured for something a little different, we weren't going to paint them or crackle them. I figured I'd just take some napkins and decoupage them. Hi, Susan. How are you? Did you get any storms out by you, Susan? See, I said that wouldn't bother me because it was probably dry, but you see how long that lasted. It bothered me. Got buzzed by a military jet yesterday. I think made me go, I moved away from all the military. It rained all day Saturday. Oh, fun. Yeah, we have all that. And I'm assuming they're still going to have all the military planes and that flying over, but I haven't heard them as of yet because they do all that during this week also. The bigger thing is I don't know if we're going to just stick around the house all Saturday or if we're going to go out. And if we do, like I was letting y'all know, you go out. If you're wanting to be back in, you better be back in before like 6 o'clock. Yeah, we have a bunch of rain the next several days also. It's going to be definitely a muddy track on Saturday. We live close to a National Guard camp, so we always have helicopters and planes flying. We used to have one really close to us, but then that one closed down. But there's still one over by our airport, but you don't hear it as much. So for those that are just hopping on, I asked, what was some of your favorite memories as a child? I was telling them I grew up on a small farm, so some of mine was like being able to go walk out into the field when it was really nice and a nice day out. That was always nice to just be out in the field enjoying the weather and not being bothered by anybody. Just having the whole field and that to yourself was nice. And some of the things we did with our family, like, some were saying camping. When I lived in MD, there was a cool air show at the local airport by my house. All the vintage. Oh, that would have been cool. All the vintage. So, anybody who hopped on, if you want to share some of your favorite memories as a child, we'd love to hear them. All right, this looks like a spot did not get totally covered, so I'm adding a little more. The 70s, we got on our bikes and just went and did whatever. Yep, I remember that, Susan. If we went anywhere, you always had to be, you could go out, you could play, you could do whatever. But if dad or mom whistled or called you, you better be coming. That was always the stipulation. We call you, you come. Some of the things that we did when we were kids, I thought, how did we survive? Me and my brothers were like, because I was the only girl, so I had an older brother and two younger brothers. The younger one, when we were out on the farm, was a baby, so while my mom and them were tending to the cows and the pony and doing the gardening, because we had a real huge garden, I would watch him. But when I wasn't, it's like some of the things we did, how did we survive? When the street lights came on, yep, I did break some bones. That I did do. My brothers, we had this like valley. You'd go down this hill, there was big oak trees, and then there was like this valley. And they threw a rope up into one of the branches, and they were swinging on it, no problem, none whatsoever. I got on it, the rope broke underneath me, and I wound up breaking my arm. But okay. And then one time, me and my brother were riding our bikes on this out on the street, and out there it was no problem because you hardly got any cars coming up and down the street because we're out in the country. But he decided he was going to cut in front of me, and when he cut in front of me, he hit my front tire, and down we went. He skinned up his elbow, and I tore my knee up pretty bad. But I survived. Hi, Kathy. Roller skates, bikes, skateboards, hills, roads, cars coming. Right? We didn't have to contend too much with the cars because, like I said, we lived out in the country. But all right, come on, you're sticking there, and I didn't want you to stick there. But yeah, some of the things we did as kids, it's like, okay, and we're alive. Why? Somebody obviously was looking over us really well. So I've watched Cindy sometimes doing her canning and that, and I'm like, I haven't done that in years. I'd have to take a class on it all over again. My mom and them used to do all that. My sister did that to me, and I flipped over my handlebars and rolled down the road, scratched on leg, bent from front tire. Yeah, my tire was jacked up too. And we always had dogs, so I guess that's where I got my love for dogs. You rode your horses everywhere. We only had a pony, but the neighbors across the street from us, they had horses. And we didn't get to go to the regular school, so we didn't get to do anything like drive your tractor to school day or any of that stuff because my mom and dad sent us to a private school, a Catholic school. So we did that. And then when they got divorced, we wound up going to public school. But that would be fun, riding your horses everywhere. Army brat, so couldn't have pets. My sister and I have overcompensated and all. Well, I get that. Trying to make sure I'm turning this the right way because I want the flowers on here to go a certain way on the little wings. My dad was military. He was Army. My brother was Navy. We have some relatives that was in the Air Force. My son was Army. So we have quite a few. I don't think we had anybody in the Coast Guard, though. And I always feel that our military gets the raw end of the deal. All right. I think that's all I was going to decoupage. So we'll put this away. Get rid of that. Clean up some space here. Today is Military Brat Day. I didn't know that. Didn't know that. Put my little gator over there. See how my board's crackling? let's get our little stick fast here. And we're going to take our bird and we're going to glue his wing on. That looks about right. Yeah, turn it about there. I like the stick fast. It's about the same as the Star Bond, but I seem to not stick my fingers together as much with the stick fast as much as I did with the Star Bond. Lisa, I hope you get power real soon here. I know you guys probably do, for sure. We'll figure about placing here in a minute. So now I do have to paint my little bird's wings and the heart. And I think I'm going to use the Dixie Belle Amethyst, which is the darker purple. Thanks, Lisa. That's something different. When I get off of here, I think I'll step outside and see if I can get some of the planes and that are going over and post it. But like I said, as the days go on, it's going to get more and more. And the traffic, like I was saying yesterday, I believe they'll shut down like on a couple of the exits because we live real close to the expressway and Churchill Downs is just like a block or two away. They'll shut down some of the on and off ramps so you can only go either on it or off it, and that's it. Yeah, I bet. Water is a must. So what did it do? How did, with your water, did it just kill your pumps or? Because you live out in the country, right? If you don't mind my asking. Is that all security or private jets bringing race people? No, usually the ones that are flying up above over here, they're usually flying with banners and advertising. I don't know if it's neat or not. I've been to Churchill Downs a few times, never for the Derby. I have done where they've done the oh, what do you call it now? Where you go back where the horses and that are. Man, I can't think of what you call it right now. And I've been into the museum and that, but I have not been to the Derby. Too many people. Oh, that I'm sorry. Well, hopefully it comes on soon. All right. I'm looking for, I think I need a little marker here for a second. Because I want to make a little mark on his wing here. Put that up here. Yes, thank you, Kathy. I could not think of paddock for nothing. It's like, okay, where's your brain? Want this end. But I've been to done the tours for that. And it's nice. I just don't like all the crowd. I'm not a real big crowd person. Let's put a little dot for the eyes. You have to have an eye, even with the paper. I don't know why I couldn't think of paddock, but I appreciate that. Went brain dead. Here's, whoop, little piece didn't come off. Our little bird. And our heart. Now we can piece it together. So I don't know if we want to keep them like this, which we could, but I also have a bow that I can put on here like this. So do we want to keep them like this, or do we want to shift them around? I think I need to trim that a little bit anyway. You like it like that? Words are your jam? I don't know. Sometimes words just escape me. So I guess we're going to leave. Well, I still need to trim that. Want it a little shorter. Little shorter. Okay, we'll leave them like this then. Thank you. So let's get our birds on here. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? I'm that way with numbers. I'm not, numbers, Ken's more numbers than I am. I know, sometimes words, it's just like they escape me. And I always try anymore. I try to think before I say something, because I know sometimes when you start talking and just rambling on, sometimes you say stuff and it's like, why did I say that? Thanks, Cheryl. Thanks for tossing snowballs. I appreciate it. So did we want to keep the heart on there, or do we want to put it on the other side? We can put it there, or we can put it here. It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters, does it? And I know I'm going to put the bow up here, so I'm going to go ahead and put the bow on after I get this string off of here. Every time I do these, I think I got all the strings, and then there appears more. Thanks, Maddie. Hi, Jackie. How are you? Your whole life is numbers. Nah, I don't think I want to do that. My whole life is That can't be fun. I'm glad you're doing good. So I just figured I'd change it up a little instead of just painting the birds and everything, and do some decoupage instead on the birds for something different. Well, my hands don't want to work. So there we are. We got a little bit of storms yesterday, and if you were on my live yesterday, I started off going really well, and then all of a sudden, I'm assuming because of the wind and all that, that was so high out there, it totally booted me off of everything. But I was able to get back on, and then I was able to finish my live, and then we got a little bit more that evening, but we're supposed to have more tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, even into Sunday, so we'll see. I'm glad you're doing well, Jackie. Thank you, Maddie. I think I might need to trim this one up a little bit so it's not laying right on the bird. So I'm pretty sure I got some of this material, if not all of it, from Walmart. If y'all haven't been in Walmart lately, they do have a lot of material. They have a lot of like fat quarters and all that going on. Thank you, Jackie. Hey, Norma. The markers up in front of me, these are the ones that Laura told us about. They're called Garbies. And you get, it says 36, but really you get 72 because it's double-sided. The tips are double-sided. And I put this in with the wrong ones. This goes with the other set that I have. But I'll show you real fast. You have all these. Both of them are double-sided tips. This one's a dot. This one is a fine tip. On that color, this is the one that Laura had. The blue ones right here. I got on the blue ones, it's just a brush tip. And on the brush tip, these are the ones like Laura has. You have one color on one end, that's a brush tip, and a darker color, that's a brush tip on this end. So it's like this and like that. But then I went ahead and got the other set, and it comes with these inside of it, so you can mark the colors on here and see what it looks like. Those colors look like on white and what they look like on black. And we've used them on wood. And then, like I said, the other ones that have the red label right here, they just have one color but two different ends. These are quick drying water-based ink. Both of them. Now on these, like I said, it's one color, but on one end you'll have a dot end, and the other end you have the fine point, but it's the same color. And it comes with, and I haven't did this yet, like a little color swatch, so you can put it all in all the way around, and you can see what it looks like on the white and what it looks like on the black, but I haven't did those yet. They're Grabie, Grabie. Laura was telling us about them. And then when I went on there, I saw that they had these too, and I thought, oh, cool. So this is the one that she has. I don't know if you could see it. This is the one that she uses up close, that I'm showing you up close. It's the Grabies, and it has the brush tip. These are exactly the same as these, just that it's not the brush tip. Like I was telling you, it has a dot, like the rounded, and then a real fine point. Did you get the name? Yeah, I was surprised I was able to get back on yesterday, Cheryl, with all the wind and that going on, but I was glad that I did. So here, I don't know if you'll be able to see the picture, but here's the one that Laura has. So that's what, right down here at the bottom is what the brush tip looks like. And then on this one, I don't know if you can see the brush tips right in the same spot there. So this one has two different tips on it. No, this one has the same tip on it, the brush tip on both ends. This one has the two different tips. Duh. You're welcome. They're on Amazon. They're around. They were on like on a little bit of a discount. The last time I looked, I think they were around 25, but they're usually between, I would say, 26 and 29. But I think they're well worth it. It says 36, but you really get 72. But I like them. They come in handy. I even like them better than some of the other ones that we all may have. Cindy, you got your markers? Awesome. You heard thunder, so that means yours is coming already. Ours is supposed to be coming here too. I would say they're similar, but I like the ends, the tips on them better than the ones in Magnolia personally. And so far, I know that with some of the Magnolia ones, not that I'm against them because I have them. Trust me, I got them all. But I found with some of them, and I haven't seen it happen unless it could be just the way I was using them, because you know there is such a thing as handler error. But I've noticed that sometimes when I'd go ahead and do this, and on one of them, I think it was the black one anyway, not so much with some of the other ones, I'd go to use it and it would just be like really watery all of a sudden. But I like these. I still use them. And what I do sometimes also, and I'm not going to do it on here, but of course I could, I would take them and instead of using like Tim Holtz or anything, sometimes I take these and take them around the edge, not this color, but take them around the edge and give it like almost like a distress look using the markers. And actually, I could put some distressing on here. What do y'all think? Put a little bit of distress on there. But they're similar. It's just, I think their tips are a little finer. And I like the brush one really well. Because they don't have a brush one that I'm aware of on these. So what color do we want to distress this? I have several colors. I think we'll put a little bit of distress on here. And then, oh, let me get it. I even have, and I've not tried the hickory smoke, so I'm not sure what the hickory smoke looks like. It's almost like a black. Do we want to try that? Make sure that went out. I heard it beep, but I don't like to leave things plugged in either. Let's try it. I haven't tried it. Let's give it a whirl. Man, I got all kinds of stuff on me. So this is the hickory smoke. Let's see what this does. Not a whole lot. Y'all see that? Kind of subtle, and that's all right. I'm okay with that. Nothing major. Let's get some under here too. I like on the corners. I don't know about you all, but I like to go a little thicker on my corners. Because to me, when I see some of the stuff that gets like aged in that, it seems like on the corners it's always a little thicker right there. That makes any sense. Of course, it could be just my mind, but there's the edge so far. And we'll put a little bit up here on the handle. I know the bow's covering most of it, but that's okay. It's not going to show up too much. It's just going to make a little darker line around the heart. Put a little on our bird. See our bird? Now I'm going to do a little more on his little, what do you call it, on the top of his head. Gave it a little extra. Now again, on the purple, it just looks like a darker line, and I don't know if you all can see that or not. But on the other birds, you can really see it. I think that kind of finished it off. What do y'all think? Thanks. Sorry, got booted. The markers are ink. Are they archival quality? Normal, all I can tell you is I like them. A lot of other people that have gotten them have liked them. They're water based. And like I was telling y'all, the one set like Laura has, it's quick drying, water based, non toxic, UV resistant. The one Laura has, Norma, it has like a brush tip on both ends. On the other one that has the red right here, it has the same amount of markers, but it has on one end, it has the round dot, and on the other end, it has the fine point. And anybody who has gotten them seems to like them. I know I do. I know Laura does. I think I still need to trim that, y'all. I keep looking at it. It's like just not where I wanted it to be. But I think if you got them, I think you would like them. Unless you already have a set that you really like. Okay, get that off. So there's the project for today, and I am glad that I went ahead and de-stressed it, and I do like the hickory smoke. Well, get that off of there. I've not tried the hickory smoke. I actually opened it earlier, and I thought, so I'm glad I tried it. I like it. But, okay, I'm looking for some good markers with good coverage. I like them. Laura likes them. I know a few other people have gotten them and they like them, so I would assume that you would too, but I don't know. Maybe if you got somebody by you that might have them, you can try them. Hi, Judy. Thanks. Actually, Norma, this color is the Lucky Lavender, but I lightened it up. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And I am so grateful and so happy that y'all come on every day and support me. I really, really appreciate it. They're on Amazon, Norma. And the last time I looked, I think they're around $25, $26. They're usually closer to 30. Like 29 something. But anyway, thank you all for hopping on and watching me today. I appreciate it, and chit-chatting and sharing some of our favorite childhood memories. That's always fun. Have a good rest of the day, and if you have storms coming in, please be safe. Lisa, I hope you get your water back soon and your electricity. You like the markers too, Cindy? I do too. Yes, it's the Lucky Lavender, but I lightened it up a little bit on here. So it's just a tad bit lighter. But it's a pretty either way it's a pretty color. And then the darker purple was the Dixie Belle Amethyst. That's my favorite. Have a good one, everybody, and I will be back on tomorrow, same time, same bat channel. Thanks so much. Y'all have a great day. I've been working, so haven't been on today yet. Have a good one, everybody. Let's see if we can get hearts yet. No. Well, here's hearts to ya. Bye, all. Love ya.